Hello and welcome to this week's episode of your Power Packed Podlets. My name is Rachel and I'm your host for these magical mini journeys together. And if this was the first podlet you listened to, if this was the only podlet you listened to, this could be the one, like of all of the ones I've shared so far, this is the one that can make the biggest difference for you. By really understanding the principles of what I'm sharing today, and going out and applying them from this one podlet, this one audio, really understanding this and applying it is going to change your business, your income, your life, your success, how you serve your clients, the results you get your clients, all of the things. And I know this because when this finally made sense for me and I was able to create the shifts in how I was making my decisions, how I was building my business, how I was feeling on the inside, is all linked into what I'm going to be sharing today. It was this domino effect that happened where not just one thing changed, this domino effect of everything began to transform in my business and in my life. So my hair's just gone on end. My desire is that I share this in a way that it makes sense to you on so many levels so that you can go and have this change happen for you as well. Whether you're already experiencing success and it's a domino effect of another level, or you're at that beginning journey of building success. So maybe you already have a business and you don't have success in your business. You know, you're kind of plodding along, you're making it making it through, or you're starting out. Being able to understand this is really going to change the game for you. So let's dive in. And by the way, this is one of the warm up podcasts for our free event. We're going to be going live for the first day on the 10th of October. Then the following morning, we're going to have an evening together. We're going to have the following morning together. So you're ending your day, ending your week, and you're starting your weekend with this really powerful stuff. It's going to land for you. You're going to integrate it through your Saturday and Sunday and Monday. And then Tuesday, we're meeting together again. And then Wednesday and Thursday as well. This free event can literally change your life. For those of you who, if you've not signed up, by the way, sign up. For those of you who come to the sessions and you allow the lessons to land, because they're not just going to land on a mental level, they're going to land on an emotional level for you and also on a level of frequency. You're going to notice an energy change. You're going to notice an energy upgrade. For those of you who come in with an openness and a hunger and a desire to learn, is really going to change the game for you. So if you haven't yet, make sure that you sign up, enter into the prize draw because the prizes are incredible. Make sure that you follow the instructions on the confirmation page or the confirmation email, okay? Because you want to know everything that's going on and have the dates in your diary. And the reason that this is a warm up to the event, some of you will have seen the title, the name of the event, Awaken Your Inner CEO. And some of you will be thinking, well, why is that important to me, Rachel? Why would I care about doing that? And today you're going to learn why. Because you may not think that awakening the inner CEO is something that's going to change things for you. In fact, you may have a perception of CEOs. If you're in corporate, a lot of you in my audience, you're moving from corporate into building your own business, or you've worked in corporate and you're like, I'm not going back there anymore because it's not for you. Not that it's a bad environment, it's purely because it's not for you. And so you have this perception of CEOs that might be making you think, ooh, I don't want to awaken that in myself. And today you're going to hear a different perspective on the CEO energy, because we're talking about a heart-led CEO who wants to change lives with what you do, who wants to make a difference in the world and have a fabulous time doing it. And you want to model to others what it is to be confident, to be grounded in yourself, to trust yourself. And CEO energy and CEO mindset and way of thinking is a crucial part of this. So today we're talking about longevity, because I'm assuming that you want to be successful also in your future. You're not just thinking, oh, I'll do this for a year and then I'll give it all up after all of that hard work, even if it's going well. You want to be successful long term, and you want to see in your future that it gets better and better. So I'd like you to imagine is 3 years down the line and you've set up this really strong ecosystem in your business. your business is running smoothly. Money is coming in like clockwork. And in fact, it's not just coming in like clockwork, it's coming in bigger and bigger amounts. Every month that passes, more income, and your income's expanding. Not only that, the way that you serve your clients, the results that you get them, it keeps getting better and better because you are so grounded in yourself and so much in your power and clear of the value that you bring to the world that you're able to bring that value to each individual on greater and greater levels. And now I'd like you to imagine that this ecosystem of your business has been built up so beautifully that you have more time and more capacity to spend focusing on other creative projects, to focusing on reading a book, a novel, to spending more time with your family, to going on holiday, whatever it is that you currently find that it's not just the time. Maybe you don't have the nervous system capacity for certain things in your life that are really important to you. Because if you're already running a business, you know it can take up a lot of your energy. I'd like you to see in 3 years' time, in 4 years' time, in 5 years' time, that it keeps getting better and better because right now, in your present moment, you've chosen to focus on this. You've chosen to focus on building the foundations and the structure of the ecosystem of your business, to learn how it works, to learn how to think and move as a successful boss woman CEO of a company versus a struggling small business owner who's just making it by. Because some of you I know have currently got that identity and you're currently making your decisions in your business, financially, investment wise, when it comes to your branding, your marketing, setting up sales funnels. Some of this you'll be like, what's a sales funnel, Rachel? There's stuff about business that you don't even know. And you're wondering why you're not getting the results that you want. Because you potentially don't even know what are all of the key factors in a thriving business. Because just thinking about that maybe stresses you out, causes you anxiety to understand the different pieces of the puzzle of a business that grows over time. Maybe you've not even thought to stop and ask yourself that, do I know how to run a business? Do I really understand how a business works? The different layers of success in business, what it is to bring on team or to outsource different things and to pay experts to do different elements of your business and to have enough money coming in so that you can do that. Do you sit down on a regular basis and have these conversations with yourself? Ask yourself these questions, thinking and moving like a CEO. So I'm going to give you an example of a question I ask myself. What am I currently doing in my business that is taking up way too much of my focus and energy that I can either outsource or simplify so that I can spend more time doing the things that I love and serving my clients at a greater level? What can I clean up right now? How much extra income do I want to be making so that I can outsource that, so I can pay an expert to do this? Okay, X amount extra money, fantastic. So what does that look like? What in my business right now is not allowing that money to come in and what needs to change? Asking questions like a CEO, like a boss woman of a successful company, because I'm not just focusing on what I'm building now, I'm focusing on the foundations for the future success that's coming in. Awakening your inner CEO is not about the burden of all of that responsibility. It's about the freedom that you're creating by learning to make decisions from a balanced nervous system, from being the boss, from owning what it is that you're doing, from choosing. Because I'm assuming if you're choosing to run a business, it's because you want to be your own boss. And therefore it requires that you be a boss. And you know what it is to make moves as the boss, as the owner, as the one who's running the show, rather than, oh no, if I invest this money and then I can't see any more money coming in right now this month, looking at your bank account and going, but right now this month, how am I going to manage? And if you're constantly making your decisions based on what you can currently see in your bank account and what's coming in this month, you will always be in that cycle. It requires that you expand and stretch yourself to saying, okay, if I'm not seeing that money right now, I'm going to find a way to make it happen because my future self is counting on it. Because I can guarantee if you look at moments in your life, things that have been a non-questionable for you, you have found a way to make it work. You've maybe tried out multiple things and they've not worked. And because that thing has been a non-questionable for you, you've kept going until you've found a way. You didn't just say, well, that hasn't worked and that hasn't worked, so now I'm going to give up because it's too hard. When it's a non-questionable for you, you find a way, not through force, through the pure joy of deciding that you want to have an incredible life and therefore doing the things that are required of you to have that incredible life. Not doing it from survival, because I know a lot of you are. I'm surviving myself through this hard thing, and so I'm just going to scrabble my way to a result. If you've been doing things in the past, finding a way in the past through that energy, it's time to shift that, because that is what awakening your inner CEO is about. It's about knowing what it is, not just to make the decisions. We talk about logic, yes, the logical decisions, but it's also the frequency in which you do the things. What is it you feel in your nervous system? Are you making your decisions from survival? You're anxious, you're contracted, you're afraid. Or are the decisions you're making and the way you're making them expansive? Because you trust yourself, because you know you're the boss and you always find a way. Because your success in your business and that future that you've imagined at the beginning of this podlet, yeah, where in 3 years' time, in 4 years' time, in 5 years' time, your business, if you apply this and you choose to become the CEO and you choose to acknowledge that you're building a company or you're building an empire or whatever you wish to call it, and you make your decisions from that place and you lead yourself through fear, you lead yourself through making decisions from survival into making them from thriving and from your future, and you lead yourself through those contractions and you choose to show up and show up and show up, in 3 years' time, your business is going to be in a place where you currently cannot comprehend. Right now, in your mind, you can't fathom it because it is way beyond what your current belief systems can hold. Of levels of success and joy. Like your current belief systems can't hold it. How exciting is that? And to do this, it requires that you lean in and stretch yourself and grow your CEO frequency, not once, not just for a few weeks. It'd be this current, constant growth process of you leaning in and leaning in and leaning in to growing for the pure joy of growth. Because I know that's what you're here for. You chose to come down and manifest in human form to learn and grow. And I'm going to leave you with this thought. On a level of biology, the human mind is built to solve problems. It is a problem-solving machine. It is up to you to determine whether you utilize your problem-solving capacity to expand you or to stay constantly for the rest of your life in anxiety. Problem solving is fun. It's creative. Children love problem solving. Why as adults do we lose that joy? And your business is the most beautiful way to learn what it is to enjoy problem solving. Because I can guarantee that once your business is up and running smoothly, you're going to be hungering for more problems to solve. And then suddenly you're going to have all of this time and space to solve other problems and enjoy doing it. Whether it's learning to paint, learning to drive a tank, learning to fly a plane, learning to, whatever it is, whatever problem solving that you're doing that brings you joy. Because problem solving is fun, and if you can channel that into your business, it's going to change it for you. So maybe listen to this a few times, because there's a lot in here, and you won't have heard all of the messages because your mind will have been fixating on some of them. So keep coming back to this. And in the event, we're going to go way deeper, and it's going to be a lot more personal because you will be live there with me. And so it will be a conversation in group. Yeah, it's not just you listening to me. I'm reading your words, your message is coming through loud and clear. And what is taught in the sessions is really based on also what you bring to the table individually and as a group. So come with the problems that you're solving, come with the vision of what you're building. What I'm teaching in this event is material I have never covered before. So those of you who've been to free events before, this is going to be entirely new. So come with a pen and a pad, come with an open mind, and I can't wait to see you on the 10th. It's going to be an incredible ride.